Welcome to Live Out Your Truth.
This is the voice of Madeline Thompson, and you're tuned in to Live Out Your Truth. Oh boy, from I was a little girl, my mother always tell me, say, little girl, live out your truth. Live out your truth. Be honest with yourself. Listen, people, live out on the truth, yeah? Let's go.
So welcome to Live Out Your Truth, where real stories finally will get a safe space to breathe. Now this space is where pain is going to meet honesty and silence will finally break. Now in today's episode, it's going to be heavy, but it's necessary. And my guest, she lived through a narcissistic marriage that chipped away at her identity, her mind, and her will to live. She walked through manipulation, emotional abuse, isolation, moments of darkness, until she reached to the point where death is actually the only escape that she could run to.
A lot of women have the same story but is afraid to come out and speak because there's not much support when it comes on to persons who are traumatized by a narcissistic relationship. I would explain to this man all the hurts that I have been through with the intention that he was not going to treat me the same way. With this man, I wasn't allowed to shake another male hand. I'm not allowed to drive in a taxi. If it's a man driving, I'm not allowed to be in the front. Everything was ideally about a man. Man this, man that. Why this is happening to me? Drove out the night and I said, this is, and I drove out with some speed. I say, this is going to be it. I am just going to collide with this vehicle. And I was saying, God, look how could I lose my life for what? If you marry this man, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have an incredible woman in the house. Please help me welcome Miss Ingrid. Thank you, Miss Ingrid, for coming on the show. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thanks for having me and to use your platform so my story can actually be an inspiration to other women out there. So thank you so much for having
I'm
me.
really proud of you. I want you to know that.
Thank you so much.
You have been through a lot based on what we have spoken about.
Certainly.
Just want you to keep the faith and support.
Always.
But I have a question to ask you before we go into the show. How did you feel this morning waking up knowing that you will finally get to speak your truth?
Alright, to be honest, I was a bit skeptical. I was wondering, having second thoughts, if this is something that I should do.
Really?
Or
you told me so honestly. When you asked me, I was surprised. I'm like, ooh, Miss Ingrid.
I guess it's maybe the jitters, but I prepped myself, and I think my story, a lot of women have the same story but is afraid to come out and speak because there's not much support when it comes on to persons who are traumatized by a narcissistic relationship. A lot of persons don't even know what a narcissistic relationship is. They might be involved with a partner who is a narcissist, but then they don't know that these are the signs. This is actually something, it's a mental disorder. So I think sharing this on your platform is actually going to shed some light to somebody that is out there that I'm grateful for.
I love it.
Yes.
So, like you mentioned that persons aren't aware
Mm-hmm.
of it, what a narcissist looks like in your life, because narcissists, they aren't only persons who are your partners. You have people in your life who is your mother, your father,
Certainly.
your auntie, your sister, your brother. They're narcissists and they actually impact your lives as well negatively. So based on your experience, would you like to go ahead and tell the audience or persons some things that they can look out for to recognize narcissistic traits in people, especially in your case, a partner, because a partner is very deep to your soul.
Certainly. Alright, so in identifying someone who is a narcissist, it's very hard because especially with my experience, there was nothing at first that would suggest that this person has the traits, because for one, love bombing. I was given the emotion, I was the gifts. I felt as if I was on cloud 9 and you have those butterfly feelings. So there was nothing at first that basically suggested that this person was a narcissist.
So when did you find out though? When that moment hit you, it's like, oh, you're bad for me.
And that is one of the things that I really want to highlight, because I think as females, especially in a Jamaican society, I don't think we do our background checks enough. I don't think we, especially in dating, I don't think we take the time out to find out who we're really dating. I think we put the emotions at the forefront, and then we just go with a feeling, oh, this person makes me feel good. So even if there's something, you don't have the time to investigate, you don't have the time to look and to see, you know, what are their parental backgrounds and stuff like that. So our society really, I don't think that is something that we really invest in when we're seeking a partner. But back to the question though, there are so many red flags.
Too
many. Listen.
Oh no, he's gonna change.
It's gonna change, definitely. That was my thing. And for me, being an empath is like I've always want to see the best in people, like Bob the Builder. So you're saying, oh, you're investing in this person has potential, and you know, even though there are red flags, you overlook them because you want them. You're so in love, and you know, you want this happy life ever after. So you will see the signs and you would definitely ignore them, because based on my experience, for me, I wanted the relationship to work. So even though the red flags were coming again and again and again, I totally ignore them, because for me, I'm thinking that this person wants to change, especially if the person is going to say to you that, you know what, I'm sorry, give me another chance. That is a listen.
Yeah, they always apologize.
They always apologize and work with me, to even a point where, you know, I might skip out some parts, but there was a point where he even went and did therapy, and I thought that yes, this person really wants to change, you know. So I was there to say, okay, I felt as if at a point in my life, I felt as if, okay, I felt accomplished, because I was saying, okay, this person, I am impacting on his life, and because of that, I'm seeing, you know, something positive. But it was just a play, just a play.
All right, so you did mention that you skip out a lot, and you know, I just wanted persons to actually hear mainly what to look out for in a narcissistic person, or a person in general, to pick up those things. However, let's dive into your story now, because I am really excited for the people to hear. Because a lot of persons, when I look on the internet and I look around me, and people who I even know, they share the same stuff with me like you do. So we want to hear it all. When you meet the man, all you can fall down, you know?
Oh my God!
Everything just fall into place. I could give him a name. What kind of name?
Oh Lord! I mean, for me, you can't say such man.
Oh,
such man.
Such man, if you're watching, click it off right now. Click it off. But yes.
I was in a previous relationship that lasted almost 8 years, and that had ended. And I think one of the challenges, or something that I actually did wrong, is just jumping back into a relationship so quickly.
So you didn't get any time?
I didn't get any chance to heal. I didn't get the chance to basically, you know, do some self-inspection and, you know, just to evaluate my life and see where I was. Met this person, I would say Prince Charming, very handsome dude. We met and we talked, and that was it. Like, so our parents are from the similar community. So he knows of my parental background. I kind of know about his, not so much in terms of behavior, but we know we come from the same community, you know. All right, so then I started visiting his house, and then one visit lead to a next visit. And like I said, the love bombing, I feel like okay, you know, this is it for me. No, going into the relationship, I would explain to this man all the hurts that I have been through, especially past relationship. Oh, such a big mistake. But I'll tell you about that. Tell him about everything that really happened to me, and with the intention that he was not going to treat me the same way.
That's always what we hope.
Yeah, we hope for, right? And he was like, yes, man, you know, and we continued. But then I started seeing signs in terms of control. So now that I'm with him, I have a best friend. And
Let's be specific now.
I have a best friend, it's a female.
Okay.
And he did not like her. You know, typical Jamaican man, she had to give a man, right? So that was the first thing. Yes, man, that was the first thing.
Toxic.
Very toxic. No, for me, I'm thinking, oh, this man loves me, I want me for himself.
Achoo!
And boy, love me, right?
Achoo!
So let's just slide, and then the relationship with my best friend kind of deteriorated, and it just like went to a point where we weren't even communicating with each other. Now, not only that, no, he started having a problem like going to my country to look for my family.
So you mean like your country, like a different parish?
Well, call it country and a different community, because I know I was living with him. But like I said, you know, he started saying, oh, I should go back to my hometown to look for my people because I'm a man never go to. So everything now started to...
Wait, before you, sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Did you have a previous man in the community?
Nope.
So why would he have these?
And that is one of the things that a red flag. That was the first thing. Everything that I do, even at work, for people who know me, I'm a very sociable person. And the job that I do, I have to interact with a male or a female. No, this is where it gets really, really rough. And I know a lot of persons watching is going to say, how did she endure all of that and why she allowed that to happen? With this man, I wasn't allowed to shake another male hand. I'm not allowed to hug. I'm not allowed to drive in a taxi. If it's a man driving, I'm not allowed to be in the front. I'm not allowed to shake hands. He just don't want to see me with no man at all. Now, working in a department that deals with complaints and having to come home to a toxic relationship where somebody is telling you, oh, me here say that I let the man there work. So everything was ideally about a man. Man this, man that. To the point where I felt as if I tried to do everything to validate. You know, I tried to, you know, and why this is happening to me of all person. Like I isolate myself from everybody. There were outings that I would want to go working, you know, in a supervisor, in a managerial position. There were outings that I would want to go to, and I had to make excuse to say, you know, when something comes up, because I wasn't allowed to socialize. I wasn't allowed to even. I remember one of my colleagues, in this previous job, one of my colleagues had a birthday celebration, and we're supposed to go to the grill. And everything planned, and let me tell you, he was not even here in Jamaica, but the house, you know, we have cameras, and he's always watching. So if anybody comes in the yard or anybody goes, he will know. And I said, I really want to go, you know, because being around my friends and, you know, my colleague, and it's their birthday, and let me tell you, I could not go, and I had to make an excuse. I had to tell her that something happened. I'm not feeling. I think I mentioned that I wasn't feeling well, right? And it played on my conscience, and I just had to let her know that the real reason why I didn't get to attend. There were days when, if like I get a drive to come home from a colleague, if it's a female, that's fine. But then I'll have to explain, oh, who bring you come? Who is he? Why? And you would think for somebody who is intelligent, somebody who is educated, why I allowed myself for somebody else to treat me like this. And I think that is one of the reasons, or that is one of the questions a lot of persons ask from the outside, because persons who are being abused, whether physically or emotionally, sometimes we on the outside and we talk, so how is it that this person is still staying? You know, person might decide, and we might end up and say, why is she still in that relationship? Why should I leave? But for me, I think it was my the expectation. I think I allowed society to dictate how I should live, because I'm saying, you know what, coming out of a relationship, and I'm from a tight-knit community where everybody know everybody business, right? And I'm saying, you know what, I don't want people to be talking. I want this, I want to stay and let it work, because you know you have the status that you want society to think that, oh, you're happy and everything is going fine, in a good job, and you know what, you're settled. And for me it was all about what people are going to say, and just the fact that I just can't bother anymore. It's like I've gotten so immune to his behavior. It was so bad to the point where I actually, some days I see myself just driving back to my home, and by maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, because me and somebody know me free like puss. And driving from his home to my home is a bit of a distance, and it's a country area. So I would drive up, and by maybe like 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning, I drive back down, gone back and go yard, right? And this is what I keep telling myself, that okay, it's gonna get better. I want it to get better. No, here comes the tricky part where you start feeling, because of the emotional abuse, and like every day is somebody. And let me just tell you, there were times when this man will just curse me out, like just curse me
For no reason.
for no reason. Like he will find something, and let me tell you, the emotional abuse and the gaslighting was so bad, to the point where he might tell me, okay, everything I love bad, but I'm very emotional. And I would be there crying, and instead of comfort, he would be asking, why you cry? I cry because I'm guilty. I cry. And like, so I'm asthmatic, and you know, when you put yourself in a stress mode, you know, you can develop attacks. And there were times I feel as if, you know, I couldn't breathe, and this man was there gaslighting me. Like,
No comfort,
no,
like,
I'm not guilty, and the woman will love bad. And all I wanted was just a hug,
some
and
reassurance.
just some reassurance to say it's going to be okay. Never get it. I never get it at all. I remember at my previous employment, there was this lady, we share the same name, a namesake. I know she won't mind me calling her name. And I think she sensed that something was wrong with me. And let me just tell you this, persons who are victim of any type of abuse,
They will know.
you yourself, for me, and I can speak for me, and I don't know if the same thing with others, I am the life of the party. I am the social butterfly. So you won't know that I'm going through anything at all, because I'm not going to show you any signs that I am depressed. I am not going to show you. One of the things, and one of my defense mechanism, is that before you come to me and ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to approach you. Because a trigger for me, once you ask me how I'm doing,
You're going to be forced to tell
I'm going to be forced to tell the truth, and you're going to see it on my face. So I'm always happy. I'm always a vibe person. And if I have days that I feel like it's too much, it's overwhelming, I will just go to the bathroom and I'll cry, and then I'll just come back and nobody knows anything at all. Backstory, before I even, end up getting married, with all the red flags and everything that was there, we did 2 sessions of, counseling. And
both of you?
Yes. And the first session, I think it only took 1 session. And the reverend at that point, she was there, she was asking us questions and, to see what our differences are. And I don't know what triggered, but the man went into a mode, and it started and give it to me. Oh, me hand over whore and me this in front of the pastor. And the pastor said to me that you guys are not ready. And I remember she said to me that if you marry this man, you're going to regret it. And she said, I am not doing it. I am not doing it. And we had a discussion and we talked, and she was counseling me, you know, and let me tell you, the man went into a range and he just give it to me. And you know, I remembered the reverend saying to me that I need to believe in myself more. I need to have more self-confidence. Tell myself I'm strong, I'm beautiful. Look into the glass, and every time I feel as if, you know, I'm feeling down and he's doing something, just tell myself I'm strong and I'm beautiful. And I kept doing that for a while, even now. And how we end up married, because he went overseas on a program, and you know, he came back. There was some situation that was going on, not with me, and he came out for that particular situation, and you know, we decided that during that time we're gonna get married and everything. And the day before he left, we got through to a pastor. He just said to me that, okay, you know what, Ingrid, we're gonna do it. No wedding dress, no nothing. I was in my jeans, and that was it. So this pastor didn't do like a counseling session or anything, you know, based on the situation that was happening to him. You know, I realized that he was very emotional. He was crying. I mean, I said, okay, maybe that this might be a change. I did not force this man to say, you know what. But me, if he said, you know what, based on everything that was happening and you know what he has been through, and he said he wants us to, because even before the pastor, you know, we both cried based on the situation that had happened, and that was it. We got married. Oh boy, wrong, bad idea. But even before that, depression took me so bad. I remember one night, I couldn't take it anymore. Like the constant emotional abuse. Like this man, there is no softness. There is no reassurance. There is, it's just like, and I keep asking, now that I'm out and I can speak about this, not being, you know, emotional right now, it means that I'm still going through my healing process. But I remembered one particular night, I said to myself that, no, I can't take it anymore. Like, I was so depressed. Like, just imagine somebody bringing you down. You're not guilty of anything that he's saying, and he's bringing you down. And, you know, he's making you out to be the worst person ever. And keep in mind, after I bring you down, you know, and him call you the worst name and him class, you know, your body parts. Here is it in the night, this person is coming back to have sex. And let me tell you, for a while I was numb. Could not have an orgasm because mentally,
You're not there.
I am not there. So it's just bruises and just letting him have his way. Because a lot of persons don't understand that sex is also psychological for both men and women. Right? Even so, women, once you are not there, your headspace is not there, you're not a rose, so you can't have that feeling. And he's always saying, oh, I can't make you come and I can't. But it's not the type of person that I can explain and to say, you know, this is happening to me based on what you have done. So I can't have a conversation. If I try to have a conversation, this man is telling me, oh, it's because I go to good school and you feel like so. I don't know if it was a case of feeling inferior to me or intimidated. And it wasn't anything, because for me, again, I remember what the pastor has said when she was asking a question, and the pastor has said, sometimes you want the best for your partner, you're pushing them, but it doesn't mean that they want it.
Say that again.
Right? So you want the best for them, but it doesn't mean that they want it. And you can't, it's just like I say, you're forcing water uphill. Because you're saying, oh, I'm seeing potential and this is how we can go, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they want it.
Precisely.
And like it went on, you know, like we're having sex and I'm thinking, when is this going to finish? Like, you know,
Can you just come now and let me go?
just exactly. And because there was nothing, somebody who, just imagine somebody just cursed you, classed you to the lowest. Some of the things I can't even say how embarrassed I felt. Classed you to the lowest, like And then hours after, you want me to be open up to you, and then there are times if I had said no, there goes another argument again.
Oh, what you you're gonna do this?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
All right, right. So those are the things that I had to deal with, and back to a night that lives in my mind. We had an argument, and he was going on and on, and I drove out. And I don't know if you know the corridor coming from Ocean Point, going all the way to Mosquito Cove. Now, what happened is that on that stretch of road, on that particular night, they were doing some road repairs. And they will cut out the road, and them not patch it, them just cut it out.
Yeah.
Alright, so I drove out the night, and I said, this is it. I can't take it anymore. This is going to be it. And I drove out with some speed, my little Vince, and I turned off my light, and it was late. But it's late at night, it's like a lot of vehicles to be on the road, and I was driving on the opposite side of the road. Now there was a vehicle that was coming, and me hear the man blow, because even though I did not have on my light, I guess, I don't know, he realized that there was a vehicle in front of him. Because when a driver, you can't really maybe see, even though the light, so it wasn't far-fetched. So, and the man blow, and I say, you know what, this is it. It's like everything played in my head, and I'm saying, I feel so ashamed, I feel so embarrassed in myself, and I say, you know what, this is going to be it. I am just going to collide with this vehicle. And I sped up, and let me tell you, minutes before, and almost minutes, moments before, I hit one of those potholes. And the car swung over to the left on my driving side. I swung over and ended up on a bank. My tire burst, the rim burst, and everything. And the man came up with the vehicle. And of course, as a Jamaican, you give me two good expletives, and he would say, "Yeah, idiot!" He did not stay to see who was in the car, though, because of course, the person says that maybe he's a drunk person or whatever.
Worse at that time.
Worse at that time in the night. And reality came back to me, and I was saying, God, look how could I lose my life for what? I have my kids, I have so much to live for.
So this was your first attempt?
No, it wasn't. But this one really stood out. There were several times, because where we were living, we had cliffs. And for me, sometimes to get a peace of mind, I would normally go down by the cliffside or the rock side, or you want to call it, and just have a moment. But there are so many times that, and people will say suicidal attempts is when you're weak. But for me, I felt as if I had enough. I felt as if I am not weak, but I just want it to end. I can't endure it anymore. And this was my way out. So when you have those thoughts coming, and this happens so often, I can't just say it's just the grace of God why I'm actually here. Because all these thoughts, and people would not understand, because especially our society, she has, oh, this a girl kill, this a nice girl kill herself over man and whatever. There was not an avenue for me to vent. I feel as if I could not really talk to anybody. I don't know if somebody would understand. I feel as if, people are going to be judgmental. And again, one of the things with our society, it doesn't lend itself for persons to get help when you're going through, a crisis such as depression. And
I think this country, we don't know how to handle it.
We don't.
We weren't grown or taught how to handle these situations or to identify these situations.
Oh yeah. And then people worried about, sharing my story with you, and then maybe somebody else could hear and all of that. So it was a whole lot. I remember one time I was standing by the cliff, and I just picture everything. I was saying, you know what? If I jump off, nobody's not gonna. They're gonna say I missed it, but then it's deep. Nobody gonna know what happened. And it was so much that was going on, because even then my son was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. He was going through so much, No, I remember this man telling me in the initial stage before my son was actually admitted in the hospital. One day he said to me, "Oh, I'm acting as if like you're." I don't remember the exact words, but he was basically saying, me and one I said my son sick, that sick. Yeah?
Is his child?
No,
Oh, okay.
we don't have a child together, thanks be to God. But yeah, he said that, and let me tell you, it ripped me apart because my son is like me. If you ask him how you doing, I'm okay, and he has the biggest smile. I'm gonna tell you, I'm alright.
Even when he's dying.
Even when he's dying, and I was there watching my son, losing weight, and it was just a rough time because I had to travel from Hanover all the way to Trelawney. And I did that on a daily basis for almost like 4 months, 4 to 5 months. When I'm on evening shift, I go in the morning, and vice versa. And
So he was at the hospital?
he was admitted, right? And then after that, he was admitted, he was sent to the university hospital. And let me tell you, with everything that was happening financially, I had to bear it alone. Emotionally, I had to bear it alone. And looking back, sometimes persons might stay or might see you in a relationship and think that, oh, it's a partnership and you're doing okay because they might have, few assets, whether it's a car, whether it's a house, or they might believe, that you're doing well because you have, I did everything alone. And that is one of the reasons now I said being single for me, I am so critical of having anybody else enter in my life because the only thing I've known out there is to be masculine, is to take it on to the hustle. I didn't have an opportunity to enjoy my feminine self.
Yeah.
Right? I have to always
Never relax.
could never relax.
You're in survival mode.
I'm in survival mode. And one of the things for me that was really, I was draining. Physically, I was drained. Emotionally, I was drained because to avoid going home, I would work long hours. So I would be from work from 9 o'clock, and because I enjoy what I do, it seemed as if nothing because I was looking for that excuse not to go home.
Alright, hold the thought. Let's just take a short break.
Certainly.
Afterwards, we'll come back with Miss Ingrid who's sharing her story.
Sure.
How she survived manipulation.
Oh, I'm fearless, nothing can hold me back. Yeah, I'm fearless by living my truth.
Welcome back to Live Out Your Truth. This is your safe space to actually just tell us what you've been through. In the hot seat today, we have Miss Ingrid. Of course, she was sharing her story about her narcissistic marriage and how she actually overcome it. Miss Ingrid?
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say overcome, but how I ended up leaving, because having the courage to leave, because when you're with a narcissist, you're so traumatized that healing is a process. You don't know how long it will take, but it's a process. You will get there. And I don't consider myself healed, but I'm in a better space. And one of the things with narcissists, they will gaslight you. They will let you feel as if what they're saying is true.
And you know the worst part? You will start to believe
Yes.
that you are the problem.
Listen, I did that. At one point, I said, this man has never given me, and I'm gonna say never because we had a discussion and I spoke to him about it, and then he started showing signs that okay, he's wanting to be a better person. In terms of compliments, it doesn't matter how I go out and do me hair because I'm not a hair person. God forbid, I can't do nothing where hair is concerned, right? So I will go out and I'll get my little hairstyles and get my little hairdos and trying to look nice, girly up. This man will never. This man is not going to tell me that, okay, you're looking beautiful. Doesn't. That was a red flag and I ignored that. No, there were a few persons who saw, going into the relationship, years into the relationship, there were a few persons who saw signs asking me if I was okay and I would release certain things. Let me tell you something. When you're in love And when you think that this person is the person, there's nobody on the outside that can come to you and tell you to leave your man. You're crazy?
Right. That's
Nobody can do that.
That's not life.
Nobody, no matter how them show you how many ways in which this person is not the right person for you, my love, you're not gonna see it because all you're seeing is your Prince Charm in front of you. I'm a very God-fearing person, and I kept praying, and at one point I felt as if like I was praying in vain. But then I had to self-evaluate because I'm praying, but does God want this for me? You know, sometimes we pray for stuff, and God knows that it's not for us. And then we think as if, oh, God has deserted us. He's not real because we are not. The Bible says it's not our will, but His will to be done. And, you know, I ask for so many signs. God, if this is not the man for me, show me sign. And every day there is a sign.
You just ignore
I'm just ignore the sign, yet I'm praying just to want the man, right? And like I said, it got so bad. I remember being at work and I just ran. I ran from my previous workplace. I ran, and my manager then, you know, reached out to me. I just ran.
Like physically.
Physically, I ran from my office, and I was just running on the road, just literally running. Car blow me. It's like everybody in the world was non-existent to me because for me, I felt as if I just wanted to explode. And I was just running, and I was just running. I don't know where I run again, but I'm just running. Right? And I stopped at a nearby community, and there was a tank that was there, and it's like I literally lost my mind. Like I was a totally different person. I literally lost my mind because I was hearing like, okay, just take your clothes off. Like I feel as if I just wanted to get rid. Like I want to be free. Like I was choking. Yeah. And I remember I had my phone, and my manager realized what was happening, and she came and she, you know, it's just like God know what He was doing. You know, sent some people in my life, and she reached out. And let me tell you, during the time, you know, she was reaching out to we didn't marry at the time, but she was reaching out to him, and she was telling him this. The man could care less. No business. Another red flag, right? And like I said, I stayed in the relationship with everything that was happening. Why didn't I leave?
Why
I
didn't
mean,
you?
that's the question. Even now, I ask myself, because it's not like I have my own home, I have my own house, I have everything at my house for my comfort. Where I was living with him was basically like on a farm, and you know, I grew up kind of girly soft, and then I wanted to prove to this man, you know, that okay, I'm here for you. So if it means that we go up on the farm together, or if we look about cow together, or if we look about goat together, I am going to do it. I'm going to show you even when I can't, you know, because some of them are really used to the rough life, and that was just me. I remember one time we went to the farm, and I was supposed to hold the goat horn, and you know, he was there laughing because I'm telling myself that I'm gonna prove to this man saying, no, I'm white. This is me. If I'm dirt, I'm dirt. We do this together. We are doing this together, and I get a job, see? Listen, I don't know what I said I was trying to prove, you know, but I wanted him to see that okay, I am the right one. I am this right. Choose me because, you know, if you're not the mother, you're not the mother. And all of that didn't matter. Didn't matter at all. And then it wasn't getting any better. Wasn't getting any better. We were there, you know, his mother, who is a God-fearing person because he lived with his mother. It was all like a big joke. It was, for me, looking back at it, I think I was in a movie. I didn't know I was in a movie, and there were just actors around me, you know. Because I guess Ingrid would have the ideas, Ingrid would do maybe the paperwork, and Ingrid would come up with the stuff to ensure, right? So that's what I felt like, I felt as if it wasn't nothing genuine, and maybe that's why he could not love me, because it wasn't from a genuine place. It was just there because Ingrid could, there were benefits. At one point, when we had an argument before he migrated, when we had an argument, and we talked about his upbringing, and again I felt sorry for him because I was saying maybe these are traits that his father had, that he
They
is now,
started digging to see where it surfaced from.
right. So and then I started feeling sorry for him again. And that is it. Me not feel sorry for myself. All the man bring me down and cause me. It's like me not feel sorry for myself because I wanted love so badly. I wanted to be loved so badly. I wanted the relationship to work so badly. I wanted a family. I wanted a union. I wanted it to work so much that everything else I kind of put it to the back burner and say, you know what? No, it's gonna happen. I was craving for love. Like I said, I tried leaving so many times and come back because I feel as if I couldn't do without this person.
They tend to do that.
I feel as if, me not have no life without, Rebel on her platform only can't live without boy, right? So
Big up Rebel.
big up Rebel, right? After I left, one day I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't even say anything to his mother. I was in the room and I just called my cousin and I packed up whatever clothes that I had, and that was just it. I don't look back at anything else. I just pack up some clothes, just push them in the suitcase, put them in the clothes basket, and I just leave. No, leaving was the good part, but when I went to my house and I was there for a while, of course, the urge came back for me to go back. And then I had to come up with, just started to remind myself of the bad things this man do to me. And I saw me black, and I saw me unblack.
So
And I
that's
him
how
reach
you
out to me,
show.
right? And that was just it. That's how I leave. When I was leaving, took off the ring, and I said, that is it. I want a divorce. That me say. But honestly, I didn't mean it. It's just because how this man was basically treating me. I want to shake him up to see, if he go and say whatever. Alright, fine. And again, one of the things that these narcissists do, when they ignite the heating, and when they lash out, oh, everything is your fault. You made me do this.
Do you think he was seeing somebody else though?
There were no signs, and if there were signs, I was too in love with this man to even think about him. Fast forward, only to get a call on my phone, and some messages came in that, because even then, nobody didn't really know that, because I'm a very private person, easy for shame, so, I'm not gonna tell anybody my business like that, or people just don't see me, I'm at work, so they will basically think that, okay, I'm by his house and I'm still going back and forth. No, boom, something come out in the newspaper, the public notice come out in the newspaper. No, let me tell you, this man is not a rich man. And whatever assets that he has that he thought that I wanted, and he put it out there to say that he's no longer responsible. The public notice there. And that was it for me. That was one of the biggest embarrassment. And how I know about it in the paper. Remember, he's overseas. So obviously, somebody, right? Like I said, I was living with actors, right? So somebody said, I didn't know you, and such man, not involved anymore. And I was like, and when they sent me the picture of the public notice, I'm like, oh my God, we could have divorced. We could have gone our way. Like, nobody wants anything, because when you do something like that, of course, basically, you're putting it out there to say that, oh, if anything happens, fine, I needed therapy. And thankfully for the few friends that I have, never leave my side. Yeah, like I said, this is it. No, there were no suicidal thoughts because I was around people you know, few persons that cared, that was reaching out to me, that was there for me. Everybody know me, male Betsy, you know, and never leave me out. Like everywhere he was going, you know, right? Yeah, come on, you're going there. Oh yes, tall and shy. So if I still want to see the other, yeah. Everywhere he was going, he had me there. You know, and you know, he never leave my side at all. Yeah, that was my support. He was my support system. And then I started going to the gym. Somebody suggested you know go to the gym.
Yeah.
So even though I wanted the physique, it was more mental. But it's a process. The healing journey in itself is not going to happen overnight. I'm still going through that process.
Where are you going it though? Would you say
Me
that?
talking to you is, and for persons who know me and you know might be watching and say, "Oh, comes Ingrid not crying." It means that I am heading there. I'm not there yet, but I am on the journey. For persons out there who has had similar situations in relationship, there are going to be times that they feel like you want to go back to the person, whether it's male or female. Yeah, don't do it. Don't fall for it. You're gonna feel as if you know your life is incomplete without them. You're going to feel as if that these are your soul match and there's nobody else out there for you because you know you would have already given up so much. Don't make the mistake. Don't fall for it because this is what a narcissist does. They will come back and they will say they're sorry and they will basically try to show you or to you know to let you believe that oh they have changed and for you to feel sorry for them, and once you have done that then it goes back to square one. But what I can really say is that as women, I want us to identify the red flags from early. Don't overlook them and say that you know you're worth so much more. You have to know your worth. You have to have that. You have to have a standard. And for me, why I am so you know weary of even wanting to move on, I have to set a standard or boundaries for myself. I have to know what I want. And whoever that person is going to be in the future, you know, if God allows, they're coming in knowing what my standards are. So if you can't match my standard, I'm not going to lower mine for you. And for me, do I forgive him? A part of my healing journey is learning how to forgive. And people tell you, oh, once you start forgiving, then that is it. I have to forgive myself first. I have to learn how to forgive myself first. And you might never hear this before, but I'm not there yet in terms of forgiving him because I still have not in total forgiven myself. And the reason why I said that because I allow myself to drop my standards. I allow myself to be taken advantage of, and for that I have to forgive myself first. And you know when Mr. Right come, I'm not looking. I'm not searching.
Yeah, she's not searching.
I'm not
There's
searching.
in the comment section.
I am not searching
She doesn't
at
want
all.
anyone.
I'm not searching. I just want a peace of mind because there's nothing greater than having a peace of mind. The fact that I'm here now, I can speak and not in tears. You know, it's just marvelous because when I talked about this back then, tears just flow from my eyes. And I think one of the reasons why I stopped crying is I remember that I should stop feeling sorry for myself, you know? And I just had to stop, you know, forget about self-pity and think that I'm doing this for me and the goals and the things that I want to achieve. So pretty much that's my story. I mean, there's so much more. It's like I can write a book and I decided I'm going to write a book, but I know what I want for myself. I know what going forward. I know I'm not at a space right now in terms of, you know, moving on. And people ask me, so you're not having sex, you know, you're not, how you manage? But of course, for the persons who have seen my TikToks, I know, yes, you know about myself, a lovely little toy, and it has worked perfectly, okay?
You hear the name?
Listen, I can't even tell you the name, but listen. So, whoever created that, trust me, it was like God gifted to a woman. So, Do not ask me about, how she not know man and what she do. I mean, I mostly use it during times of ovulation, of course, because nobody tell me about, at my age, going through ovulation and, what to experience. Sister, it's rough. When we say it's rough, it's rough. But, I mean, I am comfortable. I'm comfortable with my body. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. It's like I feel I'm at peace. I can look in the mirror and I can say, yes, I'm strong, I am beautiful. I can take off my clothes and stop in front of the mirror and do my little shots them and look back at the picture and say, is this me? Yeah. So these are things that I do, because you have to love yourself. And loving yourself, you have to love yourself nakedly. Right? Not physically naked, but you have to love yourself for your flaws. You have to be accepting of yourself in order for you to realize that, listen, I know what your self-worth is. I still have triggers because sometimes you go out and you'll see people, especially persons out there, and you look at them and see, you wish that is you. Because of course, no matter how somebody tell you that they're single, and of course you crave for companionship. But in craving for companionship, you're not going out there to make that mistake again. Especially for me, we don't do it, but I still have that trigger. Like if I see somebody out there, like a couple out there, I still don't like when people ask me, how are you? I will ask you. If I ask you first, then that's fine, but I really don't like people asking me, hey, how you doing, or whatever. It's and it sounds simple, might be sound stupid too a lot, but
It's not stupid.
yeah, I really don't like persons asking me how you're doing, or how you're coping, or hey, I'm sleeping for a while, right? But I have my ways, and thanks to the few friends that I have, as my support system. Yes, big up yourself, Guard, Jane, you guys, you have been my strength. For other persons that I cried on their shoulders, thank you so much for reaching out. A lot of people might think that, I know so much person, why didn't I, reach out for help? But like I said, it's when you're being controlled, and I hope in all of this, that he's a better person to somebody else.
That's what I was gonna say to you, or I was gonna ask you if there's anything that you want to say to him, just in case.
Pretty much, there's nothing that I can say because, like I said, I haven't forgiven. I haven't forgiven him. I mean, what I would want to say, maybe I would end up being incarcerated or something. What I would want to say to him, honestly.
What about thank you?
Well, of course, certainly. Thank you for the hurt. And even when I pray, people want to ask God and say to God, oh, I asked for this, but I'm thankful for everything, every journey, every experience, every hurt, every emotional abuse, everything wrong that this man has done to me. I'm thankful. And the reason why I'm thankful because I know what I don't want, right? I know what, and in every negative situation there is a positive, right?
Yes.
So when I get lemonade, so I'm thankful. I am really thankful, and I'm saying that really from a genuine space, because if that didn't happen to me, and if I didn't, realize that, I was going down a path, I would not be here right now. And the fact that I'm here and I can speak about this, it shows that God has a purpose for me.
And it's not yet fulfilled.
And it's not yet fulfilled. It means that I have to advocate more for women. I have to be that voice. And I tell myself, this is just the start of it. This is just the start of it, because I want to be that motivational speaker for persons, especially for ladies who have, been with a narcissist and who are traumatized. And even to start like a group or something to let them know that, listen, you have the support of other women. We have been through it and we know. So when people tell, oh, snap out of it and, stop.
That's just toxic.
Some people will not understand, and that is why, because I have a friend, and my Betsy, she She will tell you. She is just so blunt. I mean, we're opposite, but we're best friends for years.
And it works.
And it works. And she watching this now, maybe hearing it for the first time, because I cannot say to her that, okay, this is what was happening, because I know the first thing that she's going to say, that's why. You might see the parking, and this is just her, and she go on and look how you go out. And no, this is her saying, Manda anyway, this is her saying, but that's why. Bunny, go, you know.
What are you gonna say about that?
That is, she just, Manda is just a gangster, right? So I did not say anything at all. If I know she's gonna eventually watch this, and you know, she's gonna hear some things for the first time, I did not make mention of it because I just didn't want to hear that. I
You
wasn't
wanted
as a-
support.
Yes, I wanted support.
That wouldn't be
And
supportive.
even though she is my best friend, I don't think she would know how at that time to support me going through all of that. So I kept it to myself, but I'm so thankful being on your platform and I could share my story for the first time. And I know a lot of persons, I might get a lot of, you know, feedback, but I'm here if persons willing to talk and want to reach out.
You
I'm
can
here.
share your number, you can share.
So you can get in touch with me, Tinch. You can share my number, right? And you know, I'm here to talk, you know, just to share our experiences and to let you know that, you know, you're not in it alone. This is my story. This is my truth. And I hope it resonates with somebody out there who is going through, who has been a victim and who has been emotionally abused, and you feel like you're giving up. Hold on. One of the things I can tell you, if you're in the relationship and you know whether or not you're independent or you are dependent on the person, run. Leave everything behind and get out, because it will eventually tear you apart. When you're running, don't say anything. When you're leaving, just get up and leave. Find the courage within you to leave. I know persons out there who, you know, might be in the relationship and they have children and they say, oh, how am I going to run with a picnic man? You know what I mean? Run like, you know, something is gonna happen. There's a way out there for you. At first, it's gonna feel as if, you know, you want to go back because, you know, you feel as if you can't do it by yourself. But trust me, I'm a living example of that, and I'm still here. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Yeah. So that's just my truth, Mitty.
I'm proud of you.
Feel proud of myself too. I know there's a lot more, you know, in terms of growth, in terms of overcoming, but as we say, it's a journey. I will.
Thank you to everyone for watching. If you guys want to be a part of our episode, feel free to send us an email at liveoutyourtruth@yahoo.com, or you can contact me at 545-4910. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, be honest with yourself.
Oh, I'm feeling